Hello, my Jason. Welcome to my manga review for the volumes 55 through 57 of Bleach. And so these are the beginnings of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. The arc has just ended very recently with the final chapter, and so I decided to go over the beginnings of the chapter, the whole entire story arc, because I know there's probably a bunch of fans who have only just watched the anime, have no idea about the next story arc that comes after this. The announcements, big anticipated announcements that was supposed to come out alongside the final chapter, which was long anticipated by fans. Maybe a new anime series, maybe some sort of movie or an OVA perhaps, but it wasn't really any of those. It was an announcement of a live action film coming out in 2018. There's definitely very few announcements from there, but I'll put a link to the description on the story of all that and the few confirmed things. Director and an actor. I'm not really know much about those two people there, but it's not really interesting to me because, I was really hoping for something else from the whole, for the media portion of Bleach, but still we got the final chapter, which is very divisive amongst the fan base and amongst anime fans and manga fans as well. As for myself, still sort of deciding what I think about the last chapter. I'm still a fan of the Bleach series, despite what they did with the 1,000-Year Blood War arc and the ending of the final chapter of Bleach, the last one we'll ever get. At least Taikuba has, time to rest and, be away from the series after so many years. I think that's one of the issues, where we have this long-running series here in Bleach, and it's finally coming to an end, and it's very difficult to have a close, perfect ending. Whether you like the ending or not, it's very hard to find a perfect ending in a sort of medium of books, light novels, manga. I'm sure you could point out to a couple here and there of quote perfect endings, but it's all subjective at the end of the day. Whether you liked an ending or not, and it's very difficult to have something that ran for over a decade or so that's finally goes to an end. And you have Naruto, which came to an end kind of, but you had Naruto Gaiden with his adventures as the 7th Hokage, and then now you have a story arc with his a one shot of his kid in Boruto. And whether that's going to happen with Bleach or not, we have no idea. Definitely fans are still fresh in the minds of that final chapter, and so the live action film, what that's going to do in 2 years from now, whether people care about Bleach, even it's a question of now whether people still care about Bleach, because definitely Bleach took some very different turns here and there. For the anime itself, I thought the anime should have ended with the end of the Rancor arc. I think the manga as well, I think that's when it should have ended, with the ending with Rukia sort of fading away from Ichigo's vision as he's losing his powers here and there. And so I think that's where it should have ended for the whole entire series. I think that would have been a beautiful ending. Obviously, it didn't give what all fans would have wanted. Definitely there's a lot of romantic things between Rukia and Ichigo that are there, but even though that didn't come through, but still, that's the final moment of Bleach. That would have been a beautiful moment to end it on. I was very teary-eyed when that moment came up in the anime, and reading that as well in the manga, I was really teary-eyed in that moment. But Taikuba had different ideas. He wanted to tell this 1,000-Year Blood War arc, and in order to do so, he had to get Ichigo's powers back. So he created the Lost Agent arc, which is a very rushed arc, and it was really rushed when you watch the anime and read it as well. It was a very rushed thing that had many plot holes, but still did give Ichigo's powers back, so he could tell the 1,000-Year Blood War arc here. And definitely the beginning stages, minor spoilers for this arc here. I'm just going over of what you can get from the volumes here in 55 through 57, but definitely there's a new enemy coming up, very much here, the Stern Ridders, they are called, basically the head soldiers of the Quincy. You have the sort of, the king of the Quincy's. He was there from thousands of years ago, back when, Moto was still, younger per se, back when he didn't have his white hair. He was young, much more in his prime when the Gote 13 was starting out, and that's when he was going up against, Watch, the king of the Quincy's, and, he's coming back now, waging war against the Shinigami, because obviously we've been told this before in the beginning of this series when Uryu was first introduced, when the most of the Quincy's were wiped out for the most part, with here and there, people like Uryu and his father, and some other Quincy's as well, made it past the extermination period that the Shinigami did towards the Quincy's. And so with the Thousand Year Blood War arc, it starts off very interestingly with these people from the Development and Research Division. I think his name is Shinosuke and Shino. They don't really play much part in it. That was really confusing to me because they started out with that, sort of a cold open there. They only served to become an introduction to our old characters of Ichigo in the gang, and that's when Ichigo, he comes up against a Quincy. Pretty cool moments in the panels where they do the classic Getsuga Tensho and Bankai there. So classic moments there to start off with in the first volume of the Thousand Year Blood War arc. And I think my biggest problems with the new arc that Kubo created here, the one that he always wanted to tell, per se, from I've heard from through different forums and such there, but definitely there's a lot of fake out moments here and there, and it's really at least telling, at least when they started off here in the first 3 volumes, that they start off with these fake out moments and senseless deaths as well. A lot of characters do die, a lot of notable characters at least do die off, and it's kind of just out of nowhere, and it doesn't really have any sort of levity or a moment to actually, look back upon with these deaths that do come about. And so it's very strange that they would do that. I understand what Kubo's trying to do, sort of creating a sort of, I guess, a senseless sort of feel where anything could happen, any character could die, but he did it in a very not a great way, I would say. It was badly executed. There's a lot of those moments here in this arc, and again, I'm still a huge fan of Bleach. I do recognize its flaws, and these are some of its flaws. That's the deaths in this series don't really hold much weight. It's mostly just a ton of action sequences. The plot is sort of here and there. There are a lot of fake out moments as well that really get you unpredictable moments, but also some weird moments that we don't know what's going to happen. A lot of questions are left unanswered during many different chapters, and they don't really get answered as you keep reading on through the Thousand Year Blood War arc. And so that's the only frustrating part, but still it's a really fun arc here. You have some great battles, and credit to that. That's what Kubo does best, I think. He does create these nice battles, even though sometimes they don't have any levity or a purpose for the plot as well. I mean, some of the characters that do come back from previous arcs, they make a comeback, and it's like, hey, this character's coming back. And for other time, it's like, wait, didn't those characters die before? And how are they back alive? Especially as you keep reading on through the volumes of Bleach with his new arc here. Definitely a lot of characters do come back, and it's very confusing because, like, wait, that character died. Like, why did they bring these characters back? And when these characters do come back, they don't really serve much of a purpose. They're more just a thing to keep the plot along, or just a feeder for the villains of the Stern Ridders so that they can kill them and provide, I guess, some sort of context for how powerful they are. But it's really just senseless because you bring out these characters who are sort of notable in previous arcs, but still they don't really make much sense there. But still, again, big fan of Bleach either way. I'm very I don't know what to think about the ending. It's definitely probably have to wait a few months. I'll probably just reread it, multiple times, especially the whole, the last few chapters as well. I mean, definitely the ending, I don't want to give away the ending, but still, it's very reminiscent of other stories and other manga series. And so definitely, I'm going to accept it either way because, Kubo has made a ton of mistakes with this arc. A lot of moments that sort of deserved a lot more levity, a lot more attention, and a lot of plot moments as well. Don't really sort of grasp you either way. It's just things that are happening, and you just kind of have to accept that things are going to happen in random moments. And new characters are introduced here, and the new characters are sort of given the good amount of time of character development, but still just more one-note characters. Like this character is that. It's built into sort of a anime or manga stereotype for the most part. And so definitely a big fan of Bleach either way. And so for a rating for the first 3 volumes, definitely I do recommend, if you do want to continue reading on for Bleach, if you just stopped at the anime at the end of that's at the end of the Lost Agent arc, I do recommend that you do check out the first 3 volumes for Bleach here. If you are interested in reading the 1,000 Year Blood War arc, if you are interested in reading the last chapter of Bleach, definitely I do recommend reading this whole entire arc. Give yourself your own opinion. Don't listen to other people's opinions and try to grasp it off of that. If you want to read it just off of forums or just read the spoilers, that's your choice there. But I do recommend just reading it out and forming your own opinion of the arc of yourself there. But if you have already read the 1,000 Year Blood War arc, or if you're still in the middle of reading it, or you just started it itself, put your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would like to hear what you guys think about that. Thank you for watching my manga review for the first 3 volumes of the Bleach manga. Also, don't forget to like, share, and rate it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already as well. Hope you guys have a nice day. Bye bye.